Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. I want to apologize ahead of time for this not being the video that I wished it could be. I don't have enough time, but I want to get this out there. I'll get right into it, and then I want to make some other notes, and then I'm going to attach a video on the end. What is the Holy Grail? Now, if you had a Catholic upbringing like myself, you don't really need an explanation of that. But let's just look at this real quick from this book on Google Books. When I first began the journey of self-discovery, I learned from researching and watching movies like the Da Vinci Code that the Holy Grail was believed to be one of three things. The Holy Grail was believed to be the cup that Jesus drank from during the Last Supper, Leonardo Da Vinci's Last Supper painting. Some thought that the Holy Grail was the vial of blood collected by Joseph Arimathea after Jesus was crucified, and some believe that the Holy Grail was a child that Mary Magdalene was pregnant with when she made an escape to France. Now, I want to show you this here. The thing with the Mandela effect is a lot of people are getting things wrong. Movies are getting things wrong. Keep in mind, the Last Supper that Leonardo da Vinci painted has not changed in this reality. That's why I feel that my consciousness has shifted to this reality from another reality, because in this reality, my memory does not match the current reality. So I shifted timelines or something. I don't know. It's so confusing. So many people get upset. You know, oh, just because J.C. Penney has an E now doesn't mean you shift universes. You know, I don't want to get into all that stupidness, but let's just look at this here. The movie got it wrong. See, I'll play you this real fast clip here, and then I have so much more to explain to you.
And one final question. How many wine glasses are there on the table?
One, the Holy Grail.
Open your eyes. A single cup. No chalice. Well, that's a bit strange, isn't it?
Not a single cup. No chalice. Now I'm going to back up here because the Holy Grail is there, but it's not where I remember it. I remember the Holy Grail here on the table, but it's actually over here on the wall now. I studied this painting for a couple years before I did my hidden message for the last 500 years in plain sight video, which I'm going to tack on the end here, having to do with the zodiac. If you're aware of astrology and the zodiac, you can lay the human on the table here, and the zodiac lines right up with it. I have a video explaining all that. I'm going to tack on the end. But, you know, some people's religious programming is so strong, which I also had, but studied world religions. So, you know, I expanded my consciousness and opened my mind. So if you have a strong Catholic upbringing and you don't want to look at any other information, then you're not going to want to see the video I put on the end here. But anyway, it's here on the end. On the wall now. Who remembers that? I mean, please sum this up if this doesn't match your memory. I remember it here. Now, to get into this other part, this is really crazy here because, okay, this here was done, I believe, before Da Vinci's Last Supper. I think this was like 15 years before. It has the Holy Grail here on the table. Now, most all paintings also had the halos over all the apostles' heads. Da Vinci's doesn't have that. I don't recall that, so I'm not mentioning that. Here's another one. This is an artist who did this in 1618. So like 100 years afterwards, after the Last Supper by Da Vinci. You have the chalice here on the table. And here's another one here. I remember it here on the table, not on the wall. But the thing with it is, if you go to Wikipedia and you put in the Last Supper, now I believe this is a picture of the original, right? It doesn't look like a chalice here. I don't remember this even being here, okay? But when you look at it small, you know, it looks like a chalice. It looks like, you know, a goblet right there on the wall. I don't recall that at all. So you look at the painting, what's the Da Vinci Code movie talking about? You got 12 little wine glasses, and they're all made out of glass, like the Romans would have used. But not at this Jewish feast here. they would have had wood or clay. I mean, it would have been something like, like this. But even all the studying I did of this, they're transparent little glasses, so I don't know. I don't recall these glasses here, but I do recall the chalice here, and not here, but this doesn't look like it. But it's only when you look at it, from a real small, like here, you can see it. So I don't know. This is just bizarre, crazy. I don't know what's going on. There's so much going on here. My main thing is that I remember it on the table. So thumb this up if the Last Supper has changed for you. Thumb it down if it doesn't. The Mona Lisa definitely changed. I did a video on that. She's smiling now. I don't ever remember a smile on the Mona Lisa. So that's about it. I'm sorry I couldn't put together the type of video I would really like to put together. But let me go ahead and throw my video on the end here. I hope there's still time. I'll talk to everyone soon. Leonardo Da Vinci studied the occult and said that the human organism was an analogy for the universe. I would now like to show you what many believe is the true hidden message in the Last Supper. If you look from left to right, you will see groupings of 3 disciples. The first 3 representing spring, the next 3 representing summer, with Jesus depicting the sun, the following 3 disciples representing fall, and the final 3 representing winter. At the head of the table is a man with his hands on the table in the position of a ram, like he is about to ram something. Well, he happens to be Aries, the ram. And next to him is Taurus the bull, who has his arm wrapped around the neck of Gemini, the twins, showing you with his hands, the twin hands. Taurus is also pointing at Cancer's neck, where Cancer is in the human. You see, you can lay the zodiac man down on the table with his head in Aries and his feet in Pisces, where you see Pisces holding his 2 hands out, as if he was holding 2 fish. Now going back to Cancer, you see Gemini with the 2 hands up. The crab, Cancer, is holding a knife, like the claw of a crab, and he's pointing at what would be Virgo's neck. Maybe saying, hey, look here, no Adam's apple. Next to Cancer is Leo, with the arm on the table. The king of the zodiac, the Lion King. Next you have Virgo, and then in the middle you have Jesus as the sun. Now, you'll see that Jesus is here between Virgo and Libra. Jesus, here between Virgo and Libra, in the end of September, is providing the harvest of the wheat and the grapes, or the wine, on the table before he's crucified in Libra. You see the next sign next to Jesus being Libra, the scales of balance with the arms out as the scales, before he's crucified and goes down to the dead of winter, to his death, where the sun is actually reborn on December 25th, but we won't get into that in this video. Next to Libra is Scorpio. You can see the finger being pointed upward, the stinger of the scorpion. The kiss of death, Judas having kissed Jesus, actually giving him the kiss of death. Scorpion bite looking like 2 lips. I never understood how Judas betrayed Jesus by kissing him. However, I believe that that is actually a kiss of death from the stinger. Now you see Libra as if it was Jesus being crucified, is between Scorpio and Sagittarius, which are known as the heavenly thieves. Jesus was crucified between 2 thieves. Between October 23rd and December 21st, there's a harvest almost everywhere of the year, somewhere except for these 2 months. And these are known as the heavenly thieves. Making up the winter signs, you have Capricorn, and next to him is Aquarius, with his hands positioned as if he was emptying a pitcher of water. And at the end of the table, you have a man with his 2 upward hands, which would be holding the 2 fish. Now, I understand that a lot of people are just going to think this is all totally bonk, totally ridiculous. However, I also believe that there's going to be some who are in a certain frequency that will be able to look at this and probably do their own research and be able to see something here that they had never seen before. Something that very intriguing, making them think of what's really happening here.